WWT presents Partner Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brian Bartell. Welcome to another Partner Spotlight. Today, we're going to be talking about Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, or HPE GreenLake for File. We've got Joe Vidal here and Hyung Kim to participate in the conversation with us. So, again, my name is Brian Bartell, and I am the Global Solutions and Architecture Practice Manager for Primary Storage. Joe, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Brian. Hi, Joe Vidal. I'm the North America GreenLake Chief Technologist and been working with WWT for many, many years and love working with WWT. And I'm sure we're going to have great question and answer and conversation here today.
Great. Thank you, Joe. Young, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Hyung Kim. I'm in the GSNA primary storage team, part of Brian's team. And we've been working with HPE for many, many years. And looking forward to this conversation.
Great. Thank you both. So let's start with the topic at hand, which is HPE GreenLake for file storage. Joe, let's start really basic. Like, pretend people heard the term but don't know much about it. Like, do you want to start with some basics of what is it? What does it mean?
Absolutely. Great. So the real big differentiator for HPE's GreenLake for File offering is, first and foremost, it's basically file as a service delivered like a cloud. It's got a cloud-like experience delivered from the cloud, but it allows our customers to scale up their compute, or basically their performance and their IO independently. And it's not just like giving you one storage solution stack, and it can do block, it can do file, it can do object, it can do it all. No, the difference here is that HPE's GreenLake for File is neatly optimized specifically to deliver file services extremely fast and extremely large, up to exabyte scale.
Got it. So when somebody is interested in this and they order HPE GreenLake for File, like, what do they get? Like, what's a solution kind of look like?
Great question. Well, they'll get the HPE Alletra MP storage solution, and it'll be optimized with some storage class memory for extremely fast access to that high level index and some of the most frequently used files, right? So they'll actually be in storage class memory, and then also in, like, as I said, up to 30, we're going to call it SSDs, right? And they can be, and you know what? It might be 24 SSDs, right? But they're up to 30 terabyte and by 24 SSDs. That's a whole bunch of storage, and we can add other storage shelves, right? So the bottom line is they'll get one storage shelf, they'll get some storage class memory, and then they'll also typically get our NVIDIA, or formerly known as Mellanox, InfiniBand switches. So it's a complete solution delivered to them, and that's delivered as a service.
Got it. Okay. What is this typically like? What kind of challenges does this solve for customers? Right. So customers are interested in this. They're curious. What kind of things is this typically solving from a customer problem perspective?
Well, that's a great question, right? So the bottom line is that it solves several different questions, and one is one of complexity, right? So a lot of customers have a hard time managing storage when it's not something that they can feel, touch, manage, right? So this is something that's going to be managed for them, and it's managed like a cloud deliverable, right? So it's taken all the questions out, right? Or all the complexity out. We're automatically optimizing the storage solution for file. We're automatically setting it up. We're delivering it via what we call a vast data software storage element, or storage layer, software defined storage layer. And functionally, it scales well beyond what your typical cloud service is going to deliver. More importantly, it's roughly 7 times faster than the typical cloud service provider. So if the customer's worried about performance, they can't keep up with the business unit's demands for whatever it is they're doing, and preferably it might be AI these days, right? So a lot of people are wanting to either dip their toes into the AI waters, or they're wanting to optimize the AI data pipeline and get the files into the AI model faster. This is a great way to do that. And you don't have to know anything about it to leverage its capabilities.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you touched on a lot of topics I want to dig into, but one of the first things. So, Young, let me ask you a question about this, right? So, as we're looking at this new GreenLake for File update and platform as a whole, tell me a little bit about how we're our relationship at WWT with the GreenLake for File platform. Is this something we already have in the ATC? Is this something we're getting stood up?
Yeah, matter of fact, we've been doing a lot of AI/ML. I don't know if you heard of AI/ML. It's a pretty hot topic nowadays, right? And so part of that, we have a AI playground, and GreenLake for File will be part of that. Okay, and so we have a system in house getting ready to get installed, and part of that whole HPE AI reference architecture, right, which includes not only this particular source system, but also HPE compute, right? So high-end compute stuff.
Got it. Great. Yeah. So, Joe had also mentioned, Young, that this is based on VAST architecture. Can you help us kind of differentiate and understand VAST versus the HPE GreenLake for File? I'm sure there's tons of similarities, maybe some differences.
Yeah. So first of all, the hardware, right? I mean, there obviously it's based on HPE's very secure hardware, right? It's called Electra MP hardware, right? So it's based on that, and then that's a very unique hardware that HPE is leveraging on not only on the file platform and also on the block platform, and I think eventually an object platform, right? And so eventually they'll do that. But the most important thing is the GreenLake platform itself, right? If you look at the GreenLake platform, it gives you that central control plane that allows you to manage not only your data centers, edge platforms, and your cloud platforms, right? So it allows you to that centralized management of all your distributed data center. If you look at some of our large customers, right, they don't have just one data center and stuff like that, right? They have data centers throughout the country, and in order to manage all that stuff from a single place is a great value, and that's like value that GreenLake provides to customers.
Great. Thanks, Young. Joe, back to you. So, is this solution integrated with the GreenLake platform then?
Absolutely. And in fact, thank you for asking that question, right? Because most people don't understand when you get an as a service deliverable, what are you really getting, right? I mean, and where's it go, right? So first and foremost, you're getting the GreenLake, we formerly called GreenLake Cloud Platform. Now it's just the HP GreenLake Platform. With that, you're getting our analytics engine. So you're getting utilization analytics on both this file service, right? And also other cloud services. So you're going to see your utilization of other cloud services and the cost metrics for, let's say you have some other file services that up on Amazon or Google or Azure, right? You're going to see all of those, and you're going to see how much storage is being leveraged and how much it's costing per gigabyte, if that's the metric you've chosen in our analytics engine. And you can run reports on that based on business unit or location or both. So you're going to be able to compare those and report on those just from the cloud platform itself or the GreenLake platform. Now, you're also going to be able to launch, let's say, any other GreenLake cloud services that you might have from HPE from that same platform console. We call that the GreenLake Central Console. Hope that helps.
Got it. Yeah. No, that is helpful. So, does this support block at all? Right. We've talked GreenLake for File, and I know customers kind of sometimes they want different functionality. This is strictly a file platform. Does it support object or block or any of those other things?
Yeah, let me take that one. So, because this is kind of a more complex question, or it's one of my first questions, right? Especially when you're looking at a software-defined storage solution or architecture that has one core set of hardware, and yet you're saying this is optimized for file versus block. It can do both. It's software-defined. Well, how can you optimize it if it's really the same hardware? Well, the answer is it was almost nearly the same hardware in the first release. The last release, the most recent release that was just done this past month, adds NVIDIA's basically InfiniBand capability, right? So the original solution basically came as a default on 100 gigabit Ethernet, right? So it had 100 gig Ethernet NICs that were combined to either give you block services or file services as far as the protocol delivery and hardware IO stack, right, for the physical layer, the physical media layer. Now, with files needing to move much, much faster, especially when you're looking at delivering AI, to the earlier conversation, right, with ML, if you're trying to train or get your pipeline, your data pipeline optimized to train that machine learning, that LLM, large learning model, you're going to need a lot more bandwidth than just 100 gig Ethernet, which is why now we've optimized that. And by default, we offer InfiniBand there, and we add in storage class memory as well. So much faster memory and permanent memory, not just, memory that's going to lose its information necessarily as soon as it's turned off, right? So storage class memory is a default now with file, not so with block. Otherwise, if you're just looking at the two solutions from the front of the rack, they look identical.
All right, great. So that's helpful, Joe. Thanks. And I guess we look at HPE, and they've been a major player in the storage industry for a number of years, and they've got a vast portfolio that can solve a lot of challenges for customers. When it comes to files specifically, how does this sort of slot into the portfolio? Like what, we've heard AI, we talked about some of the AI use cases and some of those kind of things. Are there certain areas other than AI? Like obviously AI is a huge topic, but like what are the kind of the specific use cases, the specific places you kind of see this playing well?
Well, obviously, when you're looking at file, right, versus object versus block, these are areas where you're really trying to feed a whole lot of small files, or maybe it's a whole bunch of medium-sized files. So one area might be video analytics, right? So security, video analytics, maybe it's Q&A, right? Quality or QA, quality assurance on a manufacturing line. And you're taking in and you're processing a whole lot of video files, and you're needing storing those, and you're needing to hit those with your AI engine, right? To see whether or not there are issues in the manufacturing process from the videos being captured or the images being captured. And you need to do it very, very quickly. That's not something that lends itself to block, let's just say, right? And of course, objects, when you're trying to bring together a bunch of objects that define a certain experience or define a certain larger object in motion, like a 3D object, that would be object type, not necessarily file, right? And block would be really for backup and recovery and things like that, right? For VMs or other types of data. Databases can go either way, right? But typically they end up in the file side as well. It just all depends.
Gotcha. Okay. So back to the AI. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the use cases that was surprisingly that we were successful is fast restore. Okay, matter of fact, one of the first systems we sold with HPE was for a customer that required a very fast restore, because a lot of the backup appliances talk about fast backup, right? That's great if you could back it up really fast. What's more important is a fast recovery, right? And
Sure.
and because the way it reads, actually the system reads 4 times faster than write, right? Matter of fact, you could back up really fast, and you could really restore faster, right? And so one of our customers bought this system for the fast recovery solution.
Yeah, you know what, Young, that's probably because the storage class memory, acceleration, and that's really helping out in that particular workload.
Great. Good call out, Young. Appreciate that. So you guys, you both have sort of mentioned kind of the high speed, right? And we've mentioned AI. Can one of you maybe share like what makes AI so like performance hungry? So like why the appetite for such the high speed from an AI perspective?
Well, you know what? It's not just high speed when it comes to AI workloads versus your traditional HPC high performance cluster workloads, right? So HPC and AI both require a lot of performance, but AI also requires a higher level of availability and traditional bursting capability, right, to really keep up with that workload. But more importantly, with HPC, you're divvying up workloads across many, many nodes, right? And you've got a storage, a scheduler, a workload scheduler that's sending pieces of it here, pieces of it there, piece of it there, and they'll all, work themselves off. If one fails, it'll restart. It has multiple nodes working on it. It'll continue, and it'll all complete. With AI, all of the pieces of the workload itself, the workflow, have to happen, and they have to happen in order, and they have to happen, very, very quickly and successfully. If any one of them fails, unfortunately, you typically have to start them all over. And so that requires then a higher level of availability as well. And that's really where the Electra MP shines, because not only do we start with 6 nines availability, but we also offer 100% fault tolerance in this particular solution. And that's not something you're going to find, I don't believe, from anybody else in this particular space.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about like some hardware differentiation, right? So we've got file versus block that can kind of run on the Electra hardware or something. Can you talk more about like what's in the hardware, like what makes up the solution, or could these be repurposed one for another? Like tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, great question. A lot of people ask that question, right? Because it's software defined. Does this mean that I can repurpose it down the line to change it over to a block persona versus a file persona? The answer is certainly, of course, yes, you could, right? The GreenLake for file persona is probably the more expensive of the two, because you've got the data storage class memory, right? And you've got the much higher speed I/O throughput in the InfiniBand connectors and controllers. However, sure, it could absolutely be the service be stopped, be switched over to block, and repurposed to deliver block as a service down the road, if that's what the customer would like to do. Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. So one more. How about differentiations, right? So what differentiates this as a service, this cloud storage solution from competitors, right? Obviously, people tend to want to know, all right, what makes this unique?
Well, one of the things that makes this unique, when we say it's delivered from the cloud as a cloud-like service, the biggest differentiator is that it's a private cloud, right? Now, granted, we can put it in a colo of the customer's choice or in their own data center, but the biggest difference is that with cloud service providers, when you're purchasing a data contract from them to be delivered from the cloud, as soon as that contract, that 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever contract is up, that data's gone, right? Then you have to make sure that they're doing something responsible with that data, flushing it, all that great stuff. In this particular case, we're delivering it as a service, but it's delivered on a service on hardware that the customer will physically own at the end, right? And while the contract may expire, which means that they won't be getting any more updates from us, they won't be getting the hand holding and the delivering as a service, but the customer still owns the hardware and still owns and has access to all the data that's on it. So that's a huge differentiator. You don't lose your data.
Got it. Yeah, that's big. That's a big difference. Absolutely. Young, tell us a little. So, people are more curious about this. They want to know more. The stuff is constantly changing and evolving, right? So, from an HPE relationship perspective, or maybe people want to just learn more about it. What can they do, internally?
Yes, I mean, I would strongly suggest that they go to www.com platform. So that's what we call a platform. So if you go to www.com website, you could register there. Once you register there, you could do things like on-demand labs, and then also you could engage with our experts, right? And then you could also ask for workshops and things like that, right? And POCs and things like that. So we offer various labs as a service and POCs and workshops that you can engage with our experts.
Got it. So the labs, workshops, articles, a lot of great content out there. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. All right, I think that's it for us today. I really want to say thanks to Joe and Young, both of you, for taking the time to sit down and have some good conversation about HPE GreenLake for File and our relationship between WWT and HPE. Joe, closing thoughts, comments?
Well, I just say, if you're looking for a partner, WWT, Worldwide Technologies, it's in the name. WWT is our number one, HP's number one partner worldwide. They have great experience. More importantly, I love the lab, right? You folks have helped us deliver some of the most complex solutions in your lab, so customers have access to that. They can do labs, they can do what if scenarios. More importantly, you've got all the other hardware manufacturers out there. So when it comes to making sure that things are working together, right? Interoperability, testing is a huge plus, and WWT does that very, very well. So hats off to WWT and the partnership relationship with HPE. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Great points there. Appreciate that. Young, any closing comments out of you?
No, I'm just glad I was able to participate in this and being able to uh, discuss things with an expert like Joe, right? And having that great partnership with HPE is a tremendous honor.
Yeah, absolutely echo the same thing. Thanks, Young. Joe, appreciate the partnership between our companies and keep working up great solutions for customers, and hopefully we've got many more years of great partnership to come.
You got it. Love it. Thanks, folks.
Thanks all.